Morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by...
No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
Beyonce for sure. I love her. I love Beyonce. Jay-Z too, I really admire the both of them.
The new video with Nas and DJ Khaled, it's a scene where it's checkerboards. These are all a cult.
I want to ask you about Jay-Z's album.
I think it's genius. Like all of his projects, I thought it was really...
Felonies, I'm not crazy or none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts, and seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, I don't want to see him go down for something that, you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
Potential. Jay was more quiet. But I learned that Jay was being quiet because he was taking notes. He was taking notes, observing everything, taking it all in, because, sometimes you're around and you're watching to see things to do. But some people are.
It was the kind of courtroom moment nobody in the music industry thought they'd ever see. And when the judge's gavel finally slammed down, the shockwaves were unreal. Vermeer, the man who's been fighting in the shadows for years, claiming he's Jay-Z's biological son, walked out holding a victory that sounds like something out of a movie. Not a quiet deal, not a secret payout, a legal judgment for a jaw-dropping $1.6 billion. That number is so massive it could carve through Rock Nation like a razor, putting tour money, streaming stakes, and every business move under fire. And now the whispers are getting louder. Beyonce herself, the queen of perfection, is said to be pacing through her mansion, trying to keep the storm contained, while insiders call it controlled chaos. Jay-Z has dodged, pivoted, and flat out refused to take a DNA test for years, brushing off Vermeer's claims like they were nothing while keeping his untouchable image intact. But this time, this isn't just another lawsuit. This is a public reckoning with his back against the wall. With a $1.6 billion payout hanging over him, the numbers don't lie. Even billionaires bleed when hit that hard. That kind of money could mean selling off assets, broken brand deals, and investors running for cover. The clock is ticking, and every second without a solution drags his name deeper into the mud. Either Jay-Z finds a way to settle this mess before it explodes, or Beyonce is ready to rethink the very foundation of their marriage. She's survived scandals before, but this isn't just gossip. This is a billion-dollar courtroom humiliation stamped with a judge's seal, and the allegations trace all the way back to when Rhymes' mother was underage. That's not something you can just sweep under a red carpet. How do you spin that into a shiny summer tour rollout? How do you protect 3 kids from seeing headlines about their father plastered across every newsfeed, knowing those whispers will follow them into their schools? Insiders say calls have already gone out to top-tier divorce lawyers, the kind who usually work behind the scenes with celebrities of the highest caliber. Discreet talks, yes, but serious enough that the rumor mill is heating up fast. And once those conversations begin, they're nearly impossible to undo. Every time Jay-Z's legal team drags this case out, Beyonce loses another ounce of control over the narrative. And in her world, controlling the narrative is everything. Her allies are reportedly worried the brand damage has already started leaking through. Luxury partners are side-eyeing the drama, endorsement talks are slowing down, and the once flawless optics of the Carter empire now look toxic. Her claims have floated around for years, mocked, brushed off, and buried by Jay-Z's silence. But now that Mir has pulled off the unthinkable in court, Letitia McSear's camp is buzzing with new energy. She's already spoken publicly about her past. Growing up in a small town where everyone whispered Jay-Z was her father, watching her mom battle serious illness, and stepping in to raise her siblings while carrying a secret that weighed on her life. If she chooses to relaunch her case now, Jay-Z won't just be fighting one fire. He could be staring at 2 paternity battles at once, a chain reaction no strategist on his payroll can spin away. And here's where it gets even messier. According to a former friend, Jay-Z allegedly bought Letitia a home in Cambridge, Maryland, and quietly covers her bills under a deal that forbids her from ever displaying his photo. Jay-Z has stayed silent on these whispers, but after Mir's courtroom victory, silence may no longer protect him. If Letitia decides to unleash fresh receipts, and those close to her swear she's holding more, the story could flip overnight. From a reluctant father dodging one claim to a serial denier accused of burying multiple families, that's a stain no billionaire brand can wash off. His carefully crafted image as a role model and global businessman would crumble under that weight. Every new headline tying Jay-Z's name to alleged underage scandals or shady industry connections eats away at the trust brands once had in him. And here's where it cuts even deeper. Beyoncé isn't just a wife, she's a billion-dollar brand all by herself. Her tours boost entire economies, her name sells out fashion lines, fragrances, films, you name it. But now, every move she makes is tangled in his courtroom chaos. If she stands by him too long, she risks bleeding out her own brand value just by association. But if she leaves too suddenly, the narrative could flip and paint her as the cold wife who abandoned her husband in crisis. That's the tightrope she's allegedly walking right now, and insiders say her patience is wearing thin. This is where business and personal life collide in the most dangerous way possible. Imagine the storm if both Ramir and Letitia are in court at the same time, both throwing paternity claims into the spotlight. Imagine if witnesses suddenly crawl out from the shadows with new stories, or if Beyoncé herself, tired of being cornered at every gala and red carpet with whispers about her marriage, starts preparing a silent exit plan. The power couple who once branded themselves as untouchable could flip overnight into the ultimate cautionary tale. Courts don't care about celebrity mystique the way fans do, and Ramir's billion-dollar win already proved Jay-Z's armor can crack wide open. The real question now is, what happens if the next legal punch lands before he's even had a chance to recover from this one? The fallout wouldn't just reshape his life. It could shake the entire foundation of hip-hop's most legendary empire. The numbers are staggering, but they're only the start. A $1.6 billion judgment isn't just a bill, it's a wrecking ball aimed straight at Jay-Z's empire. Roc Nation's artist roster, the sports agency branch, the publishing arm, all of it now sits under a storm cloud so heavy that even his most loyal partners are reportedly mapping out their escape routes. And if the courts push him to pay in full, brace yourself, it could trigger a fire sale of epic proportions. His stake in Tidal, gone. His slice of Douce, liquidated. Luxury ventures he once flaunted as untouchable, dumped at bargain prices just to keep the legal wolves from tearing down what's left. The sight of a billionaire mogul forced to scramble like that would be devastating. And in industries built on confidence, the first whiff of panic can send entire ventures into a nosedive. Word on the street is investors are already holding emergency meetings, marketing teams are scrubbing Jay-Z's face from upcoming campaigns, and one luxury brand has quietly hit pause on a high-profile rollout until further notice. At this point, it's not even about guilt or innocence. It's about association. In an industry where perception eats currency, just the hint of instability is enough to send collaborators running for safer ground. And with every passing day that $1.6 billion judgment goes unpaid, perception hardens into something dangerously permanent. But here's the twist that's making this story even more explosive. The courtroom win didn't just hit Jay-Z's pockets, it reignited the secret children narrative that's haunted him for years. ER's triumph isn't being seen in isolation. It's being treated like the first crack in a dam that's been straining under pressure for decades. Now Letitia McSear's story, long dismissed and sidelined, is roaring back into the spotlight. People remember the claims, family members who allegedly introduced her mother to Jay-Z, the whispers in her hometown that never died down, and those cryptic social media posts where she declared she'd been silent for too long. If she follows Ramir's playbook and takes her fight into a courtroom with the same persistence, the timing could be nothing short of catastrophic for him. If there are already 2 confirmed battles, the natural question is, could there be more? Over the years, whispers of other alleged children floated through gossip columns, brushed aside and forgotten. But in today's climate, where a $1 billion judgment against Jay-Z is public record, every old rumor suddenly feels alive again. What once looked like a privacy move, refusing a DNA test, now reads to many as straight-up defiance, like he's hiding something. And every no comment just adds gasoline to the speculation that the line of claimants might not be finished yet. Behind the closed doors of the Carter household, insiders say the tension is visible. Schedules are being rewritten, public appearances trimmed down, and the entire family is caught in constant damage control. The very team that built Beyoncé's reputation for flawless narrative control, managing her brand to the last pixel, is reportedly stretched thinner than ever, scrambling to insulate her empire from the fallout. But the more these paternity stories spread, the more the focus shifts. Suddenly, it's not about music, not about artistry, but about Jay-Z's messy, unverified legacy, questions about family, loyalty, and a bloodline full of shadows. From a psychological standpoint, this is the nightmare scenario for a mogul who's always built his image on untouchable myth-making. Jay-Z has always controlled the frame, showing just enough of his past to fuel the legend, while locking the rest behind airtight legal walls. Every strategist knows this. Once the public decides there's a pattern, it's nearly impossible to win them back. That's what makes this storm so deadly. The overlap of money and image. You can survive financial hits. You can bounce back from PR scandals, but lose both at the same time, and you're in free fall with no parachute. Picture the headlines if, while Jay-Z is scrambling to cover a billion-dollar judgment, another alleged secret child lawsuit drops on his lap. Now imagine that sparking a domino effect, where even more old rumors get dragged into the spotlight and suddenly look credible. That's not just a scandal, that's a slow-motion implosion, the kind no publicist on earth could spin into a comeback. Even his closest allies are nervous. People who once stood by him through controversy after controversy are now backing away quietly. And the whispers don't stop there. His ties to other embattled figures in the entertainment world are once again under the microscope. No direct proof has surfaced linking him to certain cases. But in this business, sometimes the association alone is enough to make cautious partners slam the brakes. Every single day, without a clear plan forward, hands rivals and critics the power to shape the story for him. Figures like Ye, whose bond with Jay-Z has swung wildly between brotherhood and Cold War, are keeping their lips sealed. Rihanna, one of Rock Nation's crown jewels, hasn't even offered a side glance toward the scandal. Their silence speaks volumes. It's not just about dodging gossip, it's about staying out of the blast zone of a scandal that could ricochet unpredictably through the very circles they share. But on the flip side, some are seizing the chaos to sharpen old grudges. 50 Cent, never one to miss a chance to stir the pot, has turned Jay-Z's refusal to take a DNA test into a running joke. His memes and social media jabs have turned the paternity saga into a spectacle, and his shots aren't just petty digs. They're coded signals to the entire industry. Jay-Z is vulnerable now. The protective shield of reverence that once kept him untouchable is cracking. And when mockery comes from a rival of equal stature, it cuts deeper. It chips away at that aura of invincibility that once defined him. What makes this split in reactions so fascinating is the hidden calculus behind it. Those who stay silent might not just be protecting Jay-Z, they might be protecting themselves. Because if his empire fully collapses, it could drag down anyone tied too tightly to his ventures. The entertainment world is built on tangled fortunes, shared investments, and buried secrets. One fall from grace at the top can expose everyone standing nearby. Behind the velvet curtains of the industry, another question is buzzing. Just how deep does Jay-Z's influence really run? His web stretches across corporate partnerships, award show committees, and high-profile philanthropic boards. To denounce him publicly isn't just about speaking on morality. It means risking personal alliances, burning bridges, and potentially cutting off lucrative opportunities that flow through his network of power. Industry veterans know these networks don't vanish overnight. Even when scandal hits, power still carries a gravitational pull. The hesitation to act decisively may have less to do with loyalty and more to do with fear. Fear of retaliation, fear of being iced out, fear of losing access to the wealth and influence tied to his name. And the longer this stalemate lingers, the more it fuels whispers that the entertainment elite move under an unspoken pact. Protect your own, even at the expense of transparency. In that reading, the silence of Jay-Z's allies isn't cautious hesitation. It's part of a coordinated effort to block a dangerous precedent. Because if Jay-Z's downfall sets the stage for private behavior to become public liability, then the next question becomes chilling. Who's next? That question hangs over Hollywood like a warning shot. In a town built entirely on image, choosing whether to back away or stand firm isn't just about morality, it's about survival. But this time it feels different. This isn't just another headline Jay-Z can shrug off. This is a multi-front war testing everything at once. His legal team's stamina, the patience of the public, the loyalty of his investors, and even the stability of his own household. We're standing at a crossroads. Down one path, Jay-Z claws his way back, using money, power, and influence to buy silence, cut deals, and patch together stability. Down the other path, the empire splinters in real time, assets stripped, alliances shattered, a legacy rewritten, not in diamond-selling records, but in cold courtroom transcripts that will outlive the music. So the question is unavoidable. Will this finally be the scandal that topples one of music's most untouchable icons? Or will the same power that built him shield him once again, letting him slip through the storm like he always has? What do you think? Is this the end game for Jay-Z's empire, or just another chapter in a story built on survival? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this with your people, and make sure you're subscribed, because the next headline could drop any second and you don't want to miss it.